The blue light of the alien ship filled the sky above Washington, D.C. It had been 3 days since the massive vessel appeared, hovering silently. The world held its breath. After decades of wondering if we were alone in the universe, humanity finally had its answer. John Miller straightened his tie for the 5th time. The diplomat had represented the United States in many tense situations, but never with beings from another planet. Beside him, Lisa Green checked her translator device one last time. As Earth's cultural attaché, she would play a key role in these first interactions. "Are you ready?" John asked. Lisa took a deep breath. As ready as anyone can be to meet aliens. The small welcome team stood on the White House lawn. World leaders had agreed that a single meeting point would be less overwhelming for their visitors. A circle of light appeared on the grass. Within seconds, 4 figures materialized. The aliens were nothing like humans expected. The tallest had blue skin that shimmered like silk. It stood on 2 legs with 4 arms that ended in delicate fingers. Next to it was a creature covered in soft feathers that shifted colors as it moved. The 3rd alien resembled a large reptile walking upright, with scaled skin and sharp eyes. The 4th was small with pale skin that glowed faintly. "Greetings from Earth," John said, stepping forward with his hands open. "We welcome you in peace." The blue alien raised its 4 hands in a similar gesture. "We bring greetings from the Galactic Confederation. I am High Ambassador Zentar of the Luminari. We have traveled far to meet your species." The feathered alien stepped forward. "I am Krila of the Zephyrians." Its voice was musical, almost like singing. The reptilian being nodded. "Ambassador Qatar of the Drasi." The small, glowing alien simply bowed. Lisa's translator worked perfectly, converting their complex sounds into English. The device had been hastily programmed based on radio signals sent ahead by the alien ship. "Please come inside," John said, gesturing toward the building. "Our leaders are eager to speak with you." Inside the White House, world representatives waited in the East Room. For the first time in history, nations had put aside their differences. The threat or opportunity of alien contact was bigger than any human conflict. The aliens moved with grace. They seemed careful, almost gentle in their movements. Lisa noticed how they kept their distance, as if afraid to get too close to the humans. After introductions, High Ambassador Zentar spoke. "We have observed your world from afar. Your art, your music, your peaceful ways have impressed us greatly." President Clark nodded. "We've had our struggles, but we strive for peace." Qatar the reptilian tilted his head. "Your species is young but shows great promise. The Confederation has been watching your broadcasts for many years." Lisa frowned slightly. Earth's broadcasts? Most were entertainment, news, or sports, not exactly showing humanity at its most diplomatic. "We would like to invite Earth to join the Galactic Confederation," Zentar said. The room fell silent. No one had expected an invitation so quickly. "This is a great honor," the president finally said. "But we would need to know more about what membership means." Krila's feathers rippled blue and green. "The Confederation shares knowledge, resources, and protection. We have 7 member species who live in harmony." For hours, they discussed the details. The aliens explained their technology, their worlds, their history. They answered questions about space travel, medicine, and energy. By evening, the first steps toward Earth joining the Confederation were underway. As the meeting ended, Lisa approached Krila. "Your feathers are beautiful. Do they always change colors like that?" "They respond to my emotions," Krila said. "Blue for curiosity, green for hope. We Zephyrians evolved to communicate this way." "May I ask how your species evolved?" Lisa asked. "We were forest dwellers eating fruits and seeds. We developed flight to reach the highest trees and avoid ground predators." Krila's feathers rippled. "And humans?" "We evolved on the savannas. We're omnivores. We eat both plants and animals." For a moment, Krila's feathers turned a deep purple, then quickly back to blue. "Fascinating. You are very different from most Confederation species." Later that night, the aliens returned to their ship, promising to continue talks the next day. The world celebrated. News channels played footage of the meeting on repeat. People gathered in streets and parks, looking up at the massive ship with wonder instead of fear. In the diplomatic offices, John and Lisa reviewed the day's events. "Did you notice how careful they were around us?" Lisa asked. "Almost like they thought we might break." John nodded. "They seemed gentler than I expected, but they're offering us the stars, so I'm not complaining." Aboard the alien vessel, a different conversation took place. The four representatives gathered in a circular room. "They are just as the reports indicated," Zentar said. "Peaceful, artistic, curious." Qatar made a low hissing sound. "I am not convinced. Something about these humans makes me uneasy." "They showed no signs of aggression," Krila responded. "Their welcome was genuine." "They are herbivores like most intelligent species," Zentar said. "Their culture shows it clearly. Their cooperation, their social structures." Qatar paced the room. "Perhaps. Yet they have weapons. I saw images of them in their historical displays." "Many species develop tools for protection before they reach enlightenment," Zentar replied. "The humans have clearly evolved beyond their primitive beginnings." The small, glowing alien made soft clicking sounds that the translator converted. "They are young. They need guidance, not suspicion." "The Council will be pleased," Zentar concluded. "Finding another peaceful species is rare. The Confederation will welcome them." Qatar stopped pacing. "I will reserve judgment, but I will watch them closely." Back on Earth, Lisa Green couldn't sleep. The aliens' technology was centuries beyond anything humans had created. Their medicine could cure diseases that killed millions on Earth. Their energy systems could end pollution. But something bothered her. The way Krila's feathers had turned purple when she mentioned humans were omnivores. The careful way they all moved around humans, as if afraid. "They don't know us at all," she whispered to herself. "They think they do, but they don't." Outside, her window, people celebrated in the streets. Earth was about to join the stars. A new era was beginning. No one realized that the aliens had completely misunderstood what kind of species they were welcoming into their peaceful confederation. And, somewhere in the alien ship, Qatar studied human history files with growing concern. 6 months had passed since the aliens arrived. Earth was changing fast. New technology appeared every week. Diseases that once killed millions now had cures. Clean energy replaced coal and oil. The world had never been so peaceful or prosperous. Today marked the start of the cultural exchange program. Alien scientists would live among humans to learn about Earth culture. In return, humans would visit alien worlds. Kevin Wright checked his watch again. The NASA scientist had been chosen to host one of the alien visitors, an anthropologist named Zentar. Kevin paced nervously in the arrival area at the new Confederation Embassy in Colorado. "Relax," said Olivia Santos, standing beside him. The historian would work with Kevin to show Zentar human culture and history. "They're just people from another planet." "Just people from another planet," Kevin repeated with a nervous laugh. "No big deal." A door slid open. 3 aliens entered the room. Kevin recognized Zentar from the photos, tall with greenish-blue skin and 4 arms. Behind him came 2 assistants of different species. "Welcome to Earth," Kevin said, stepping forward. "I'm Kevin Wright, and this is Olivia Santos." Zentar bowed slightly. "I am honored to meet you. These are my research assistants, Lear and Pax." Lear was bird-like with bright red feathers. Pax resembled a tall insect with delicate limbs and large eyes. "We've prepared a tour schedule," Olivia said. "We thought we'd start with basic human living, then work our way through our cultural institutions." "Excellent," Zentar said. "The Confederation is most interested in understanding your peaceful society." Kevin led them to an electric car. The aliens moved carefully, almost tiptoeing. Kevin had noticed this behavior in all the aliens he'd met. They treated humans like they might break. As they drove toward the city, Zentar asked many questions. How did humans live? What did they eat? How did they spend their time? Kevin and Olivia answered as best they could. Humans are very diverse, Olivia explained. Some eat only plants, others eat both plants and animals. Zentar's skin changed, color slightly at this. Yes, we have observed this omnivore tendency. Fascinating adaptation. Their first stop was Kevin's apartment. The aliens studied everything with interest: the kitchen, the bathroom, the television. What is this? Lear asked, pointing at a framed photo of Kevin in full hockey gear. That's me playing ice hockey. It's a sport. Zentar leaned closer. You are holding a stick. Is this for balance on the ice? Well, partly, but mostly it's to control the puck, the small black disc. The goal is to hit it into the other team's net. The aliens exchanged looks. Pax made a clicking sound. You compete in teams? Using weapons? They're not weapons, Kevin said quickly. They're just sticks for the game. Olivia changed the subject. Tomorrow we'll visit a museum to show you human art and history. The next day, they walked through the Natural History Museum. The aliens were fascinated by dinosaur skeletons and evolution exhibits, but when they reached the Hall of Early Humans, they stopped. These displays show hunting, Zentar said, studying a scene of early humans with spears. Your ancestors killed animals? For food and survival, Olivia explained. Early humans were hunter-gatherers before we developed agriculture. Lear's feathers rippled. But now you have evolved beyond this need for hunting? Kevin and Olivia exchanged glances. Some humans still hunt for sport or food, though most buy meat from stores. The aliens seemed troubled by this information. Zentar made notes on a small device. Over the next week, they visited art galleries, concert halls, and parks. The aliens loved human music and paintings, but they always seemed confused by certain aspects of human culture. At the city zoo, Pax asked, "Why do you keep animals in cages?" For conservation and education, Kevin explained. Many of these animals are endangered in the wild. But you control them, Zentar observed. You are their predators? No, Olivia said quickly. We protect them. Later that day, they visited the university where Olivia taught history. As they walked through the campus, a group of students practiced martial arts on the lawn. Lear pointed. What are they doing? That's karate, a form of exercise and self-defense, Olivia said. They mimic combat, Zentar said. Fascinating. In Olivia's office, Zentar noticed her collection of historical documentaries. These contain your history? Yes. They're films about different periods and events. May we view them to understand your development as a species? Olivia hesitated. Many documentaries showed warfare and conflict, but hiding human history seemed wrong. Of course, the university has a large archive you can access. For the next 2 weeks, Zentar and his team spent hours in the university's media room, watching documentaries about World War II, the Cold War, and other conflicts. Kevin worried about the impression this might give, but Olivia assured him it was important for the aliens to understand humanity's full story. One evening, Kevin found Zentar watching footage of Olympic athletes. These humans can run at such speeds, Zentar said, and lift such weights. Their endurance is remarkable. Humans can adapt to many physical challenges, Kevin agreed. Yet you are so peaceful now, Zentar said. After such a violent history. We've learned from our mistakes, Kevin said. Most humans want peace. That night in their private quarters, the alien researchers held a meeting. They are not what the Confederation believed, Zentar said. Humans are predators. Their history is filled with conflict. But they seem gentle now, Lear argued. Perhaps they have evolved. No species changes its nature so quickly, Zentar replied. They still have the instincts, the physical abilities. They run, they fight, they hunt. Their entertainment celebrates these skills. Pax clicked its mandibles. The Confederation should know the truth. Yes, Zentar decided. I will create a documentary about humans for the Confederation, to show what they truly are. The next day, Zentar asked for permission to film human activities. For cultural exchange, he explained. Kevin and Olivia agreed, not realizing the aliens' true purpose. They arranged visits to sporting events, gyms, and military museums. Zentar filmed everything. Meanwhile, large Confederation ships began arriving in the solar system. They established a trading outpost on Mars. Earth celebrated these developments as signs of progress. No one suspected that the aliens' view of humanity was changing. No one knew that Zentar was creating a film that would soon shock the entire Galactic Confederation. At the Confederation Embassy, Ambassador Qatar watched the growing human-alien friendship with concern. Unlike the others, he had suspected from the beginning that humans were more dangerous than they appeared. Soon they will all see the truth, he whispered to himself as he watched Earth's nightlights from his window. And everything will change. 1 year had passed since first contact. Earth was now familiar with alien faces in its cities. Humans had started traveling to nearby Confederation outposts. Everything seemed to be going well. John Miller sat in his office at the United Nations, reviewing trade agreements with the Zephyrians. His work as Earth's lead diplomat kept him busy. A knock at his door interrupted his reading. "Come in," he called. Lisa Green entered, her face tense. "We have a problem." "What kind of problem?" "The Confederation Council has canceled all meetings for the next week. All human visitors to their stations are being sent home. No explanation given." John frowned. "That doesn't make sense. Did something happen?" "I don't know. But alien news networks are buzzing about some documentary." "Documentary? About what?" Lisa pulled out her tablet. "It's called The Human Paradox, by that anthropologist who is studying us, Zentar. It was broadcast across the Confederation yesterday. We can't access it yet." John's phone rang. The president was calling. Whatever this documentary was, it had caused enough concern to reach the highest levels. Across the galaxy, in the Confederation Central Hub, billions of aliens watched Zentar's film with horror and fascination. The documentary opened with peaceful scenes of Earth. People in parks, children playing, artists painting. Zentar's voice narrated, "At first glance, humans appear to be a peaceful, creative species worthy of joining our community." Then the tone shifted. Historical footage showed armies marching across battlefields. Tanks rolled through cities. Nuclear explosions bloomed like deadly flowers. "But humans have a secret history," Zentar continued. "For thousands of years, they have fought wars against each other. They have created weapons of incredible destruction." The film showed mixed martial arts fighters in a cage, boxers trading punches, hockey players checking each other into walls. Even their entertainment celebrates violence. They train their bodies to fight. They practice combat as sport. Next came hunting footage. Humans stalking deer with bows, fishing with spears, trapping animals. Unlike most Confederation species who evolved as peaceful plant eaters, humans are omnivores with predator instincts. They can and do kill other creatures. The most shocking scenes showed human physical abilities. Olympic sprinters running at top speed, swimmers powering through water, rock climbers scaling impossible heights, marathon runners completing races despite exhaustion. Humans possess remarkable endurance, strength, and determination. They can ignore pain that would stop most species. They can survive conditions that would kill others. The documentary ended with a question. Are humans truly the peaceful species we thought? Or have we invited predators into our midst? The reaction across the Confederation was immediate. Many species demanded Earth's quarantine. Others wanted to break all contact. Fear spread quickly. Back on Earth, John and Lisa finally got access to the documentary. They watched in growing horror. "This is a disaster," John said when it ended. "They've made us look like monsters." "But everything in it is true," Lisa pointed out. "They just focused on certain aspects of humanity. Without context. Yes, we've had wars. Yes, we can hunt. But they didn't show how we've worked for peace. How most humans choose compassion over violence every day." Lisa's phone beeped with a message. The Confederation Council wants us to appear before them tomorrow, to explain. Explain what? That we're human. The next day, John and Lisa traveled to the Confederation station orbiting Earth. Usually bustling with activity, the station was eerily quiet. Alien workers avoided eye contact with them. The council chamber was a large circular room with raised seats for representatives of all 7 Confederation species. John and Lisa stood in the center, feeling like they were on trial. High Ambassador Zentar spoke first. This council has serious concerns about Earth's membership application. New information suggests humans may be incompatible with Confederation values. If you mean Zentar's documentary, John replied, it presented a very limited view of humanity. Do you deny that humans have waged war? Asked a Zephyrian counselor, feathers rippling red with concern. No, but do you deny that humans hunt and kill other creatures? Asked another counselor. Some do, but do you deny that human bodies are built for endurance and that you can tolerate extreme pain? Asked a third. Lisa stepped forward. May I speak plainly? At the council's nod, she continued, there's been a fundamental misunderstanding. You thought humans were herbivores like most of you. We're not. We evolved from omnivorous primates. Yes, we can hunt. Yes, we can fight. But we choose peace and cooperation most of the time. The room fell silent. Finally, Ambassador Qatar of the Drazi spoke. I suspected this from the beginning. Humans show predator traits. Most Confederation species evolved from prey animals. We fear predator species instinctively. Is that why you've all been so careful around us? Lisa asked. Like you thought we might attack at any moment? We thought you were fragile, Zentar admitted. Now we fear you are dangerous. We can be dangerous, John acknowledged. But we direct that ability to protect, not harm. Humanity has spent centuries learning to control our aggressive instincts. The council discussed among themselves in their own languages. Finally, Zentar announced, the council will deliberate on Earth's status. Until then, all integration processes are paused. Human visitors will return to Earth. No Confederation citizens will visit your planet. As John and Lisa were escorted out, an alarm sounded. A messenger rushed into the chamber. A Drazi colony ship has been attacked by Vorlak raiders near the Proxima system. They request immediate assistance. The council erupted in panic. John turned to Lisa. Who are the Vorlak? A predator species outside the Confederation, she whispered. I read about them in the briefings. They raid colonies and take resources. John stepped back into the center of the chamber. Earth can help. We have ships nearby. No, Zentar declared. Human involvement would only escalate the situation. As they left the station, Lisa looked worried. This is bad. They're afraid of us now, and there's a real threat they don't know how to handle. We need to change their minds, John said. Show them that human strength can be used to protect, not threaten. But how? They won't even talk to us now. John thought for a moment. We need to make our own documentary, show the full picture of humanity. And we need to find Zentar. Back on Earth, the situation was growing tense. News of the documentary and the Confederation's reaction had spread. People feared the aliens might take hostile action. Military forces around the world went on alert. Meanwhile, Kevin Wright and Olivia Santos felt betrayed. They had trusted Zentar, shown him their world, and he had portrayed humanity as dangerous predators. We have to fix this, Olivia said, before it's too late. What no one realized was that the Vorlak weren't just raiding, they were preparing for war. And the AI, peaceful Confederation, had forgotten how to fight. 2 weeks after the documentary crisis began, Earth remained under unofficial quarantine. Confederation ships kept their distance. The cultural exchange program was suspended. Only emergency communications continued between humans and aliens. Kevin Wright stared out his apartment window at the empty street below. The alien researchers who had filled the neighborhood were gone. His phone rang, showing Olivia's name. Have you heard? She asked without greeting. Zentar is back on Earth. What? Why would he come back after what he did? I don't know. But John Miller called. They want us to meet with him. 3 hours later, Kevin and Olivia sat in a conference room at the United Nations building. John, Miller, and Lisa Green were there, along with several government officials. When the door opened, Zentar entered with 2 human guards. You have a lot of nerve coming back here, Kevin said. Zentar's skin turned a dull gray color. I did not intend to harm Earth Confederation relations. I sought only to present facts. You showed only one side, Olivia countered. You focused on conflict and violence, not cooperation and compassion. I now see my error, Zentar admitted. The Confederation's reaction was stronger than I expected, and now we face a crisis that reveals our misunderstanding. John Miller leaned forward. Tell us about the Vorlak. Zentar's skin darkened further. They are a predator species from the outer systems. For centuries, they have raided Confederation worlds. We maintain defensive positions but rarely engage in direct conflict. Because you can't, Lisa said. Your species evolved to flee from danger, not fight it. Correct. The Confederation evolved from prey species. The Vorlak evolved as hunters. They are aggressive, territorial, and well-armed. And now they're attacking near our solar system, John said. Zentar nodded. The situation has worsened. 3 colony ships have been captured. A trading post was destroyed yesterday. The Confederation military is inadequate. You need our help, Kevin realized. I came to understand humans better, Zentar explained. The documentary showed your capacity for violence. What I failed to show was your capacity for protection. Your history shows you fight fiercely to defend others. Lisa nodded. That's what we've been trying to tell the Council. Human strength can be used to protect, not just harm. The Council remains fearful, Zentar said, but I believe humans may be the allies we need against the Vorlak. John stood up. We need to make a new documentary. Show the full picture of humanity. We need more than that, Lisa argued. We need action. The Vorlak are attacking now. As they debated, an aide rushed into the room. A Confederation ship is requesting emergency landing. They're being pursued by Vorlak raiders. Everyone moved quickly to the Situation Room. On large screens, they watched as a damaged Confederation vessel limped toward Earth. 3 smaller ships in pursuit. Those are Zephyrian civilians, Zentar explained. A family transport. The Vorlak will capture them for resources. Not in our space, they won't, said a military officer. She spoke into her comm. Deploy the Orion and Defender. Intercept those raiders. Within minutes, 2 human ships launched from the lunar base. They were small but fast and heavily armed. Should we be starting a war? Kevin asked nervously. We're not starting anything, John said. We're protecting innocent people in our territory. They watched as the human ships positioned themselves between the fleeing Confederation vessel and the Vorlak raiders. The officer opened a channel to the lead human ship. Captain Powell, this is Control. You are cleared to engage if necessary to protect the Confederation vessel. Captain Samantha Powell's voice came through clearly. Understood, Control. We'll bring them home safe. The Vorlak ships fired first, energy beams slicing through space. The human vessels dodged with surprising agility, returning fire with precision. One Vorlak ship took a direct hit and veered off. The other 2 pressed their attack. They're good, Lisa whispered, watching the human pilots maneuver. They're predators like us, Zentar observed, but fighting to protect, not capture. After 10 tense minutes, the Vorlak ships retreated. The damaged Confederation vessel landed safely at the lunar base. There were cheers in the Situation Room. The Council must see this, Zentar said. Humans using their strength to defend, not attack. Over the next few days, the situation grew more tense. Vorlak ships were spotted throughout the system. They seemed to be testing defenses, looking for weaknesses. The Confederation Council remained divided on whether to accept human help. On Earth, Kevin and Olivia worked with Zentar to create a new documentary. This one showed the complete picture of humanity, the wars but also the peace efforts, the hunting but also the conservation, the competitive sports but also the teamwork they required. Most importantly, it showed humans protecting others, risking their lives as firefighters, doctors, and rescuers. It showed human history as a long struggle to channel natural aggression into positive action. The human truth was rushed to completion and sent to the Confederation Council. John and Lisa returned to the council chamber to make their case. Humans are omnivores with predator instincts, Lisa admitted to the council. We don't deny this, but we've learned to control these instincts, to use our strength for protection. The Vorlak attacks grow worse, a Zephyrian counselor said, feathers rippling with distress. 4 more colonies have been raided, they grow bolder. We can help, John offered. Earth's ships can protect your colonies. Ambassador Qatar, who had always been suspicious of humans, spoke up. Perhaps we were too hasty in our judgment. The humans protected our vessel without being asked. They showed restraint in their response. But can we trust them long-term? Another counselor asked. Will they not one day turn their predatory nature against us? Before anyone could answer, alarms blared. A messenger rushed in. Vorlak ships have entered the Jupiter sector, a large fleet, at least 20 vessels. They're heading toward the Mars outpost. The council erupted in panic. Zentar called for order. We must evacuate the outpost. Our ships cannot fight such a force. John stepped forward. Let us help. Earth's defense fleet can respond. We can protect your people. The council members looked at each other uncertainly. Zentar spoke for them. We need time to consider this request. There is no time, Qatar said firmly. I vote to accept human assistance. One by one, other counselors agreed. But Zentar hesitated. How do we know humans won't become a greater threat than the Vorlak? You don't, Lisa said honestly. You'll have to trust us, just as we've trusted you with your technology and knowledge. At that moment, a new message arrived. Vorlak ships have fired on the Mars outpost. Confederation casualties reported. Zentar looked at the human diplomats. In their eyes he saw not bloodlust but determination, not aggression but resolve. Very well, he said. The Confederation formally requests Earth's assistance against the Vorlak threat. John nodded. Help is already on the way. On Earth, the defense fleet was mobilizing. Ships that had been built for exploration were quickly being armed. Crews volunteered for the dangerous mission. Humanity was about to show the galaxy what it meant to be protectors. Meanwhile, Kevin and Olivia watched the news with a Zentar. The alien anthropologist's skin had turned a bright blue color. What does that color mean? Kevin asked. Hope, Zentar replied. Perhaps our misunderstanding will lead to a stronger alliance than we could have imagined. Captain Samantha Powell stood on the bridge of the Earth defense ship Orion, watching the stars through the main viewport. 20 human ships had gathered near Mars, preparing to face the Vorlak fleet. The crew worked quietly at their stations, checking weapons and shields. Captain, all ships report ready, said her first officer, Alan Rodriguez. Good. How many civilians are still at the Mars outpost? About 300 Confederation citizens. Their evacuation ships are slow. Samantha nodded. Then we need to buy them time. She opened a channel to the fleet. All ships, this is Captain Powell. Our mission is to protect the Mars outpost until all civilians are evacuated. The Vorlak don't know humans yet. Let's show them what happens when you threaten people under our protection. On the main screen, the Vorlak fleet appeared. 25. Ships moving in tight formation. They were dark and angular, built for speed and power. As they approached Mars, the human fleet moved to intercept. Open communication channels, Samantha ordered. Alan looked surprised. You want to talk to them? Always try words before weapons. The Vorlak commander appeared on screen. He had gray skin, sharp teeth, and cold eyes. Move aside, he growled. This is not your fight. You've entered our system and attacked our allies, Samantha replied calmly. We give you one chance to leave peacefully. The Vorlak laughed. The soft Confederation has found teeth? Interesting. The communication cut. Off. They're powering weapons, Alan reported. So much for diplomacy, Samantha said. All ships, defensive positions. Protect the outpost at all costs. The Vorlak fired first, energy beams cutting through space. The human ships scattered, returning. Fire with precision. Unlike the Confederation ships, the human vessels were smaller and more agile. They darted between the larger Vorlak ships, targeting engines and weapon systems. At the Confederation Council chamber, the members watched the battle through live feeds. They had never seen such combat tactics. Remarkable, Qatar said. The humans use their smaller size as an advantage. They're risking their lives for people they barely know, Zentar observed. That's what humans do, Lisa Green said, standing beside them. We protect our own, John Miller added, and we now consider the Confederation our own. On Earth, millions watched the battle unfold. In Kevin Wright's apartment, he, Olivia, and Zentar sat glued to the news. I don't understand, Zentar said. Your ships are outnumbered. Why fight? Because it's right, Kevin answered simply. Back at the battle, the Orion took a direct hit. Alarms blared as Samantha picked herself up from the floor. Damage report, she called. Shields at 40%, Alan reported. 2 Vorlak ships disabled, 3 more damaged, but they're still heading for the outpost. Samantha studied the tactical display. Have all ships form a barrier between the Vorlak and the outpost. We need to hold them off just a little longer. The human fleet regrouped, creating a defensive line. The ships took hit after hit but held their positions. Evacuation status? Samantha asked. Civilian ships launching now. They need 10 more minutes to reach safe distance. Then we give them 10 minutes. The Vorlak pressed their attack, focusing fire on the Orion. The shield warning turned red. Shields failing, Alan reported. One more hit like that and we hold the line, Samantha interrupted. Those civilians are counting on us. Just as the situation seemed hopeless, new ships appeared on the scanner. Confederation vessels arriving from the outer system. Captain, we're receiving a transmission from a Confederation ship, Alan said, surprised. A Zephyrian commander appeared on screen, feathers bright blue and gold. Captain Powell, this is Commander Trill of the Confederation Defense Force. We watched your documentary. We've come to fight alongside you. Samantha smiled. Perfect timing, Commander. Let's show the Vorlak what our alliance can do. The reinforcements changed the battle. Though not built for war, the Confederation ships were large and well shielded. Working together with the faster human vessels, they surrounded the Vorlak. Fleet, all civilians clear, Alan reported. Evacuation complete. Signal all ships, Samantha ordered. Press the advantage. Drive them out of the system. The combined fleet attacked from all sides. 3 more Vorlak ships went dark. Another 4 turned to flee. Seeing their defeat, the Vorlak commander opened a channel. Enough! We did not know humans were allied with the Confederation. We will withdraw. On one condition, Samantha replied. You never attack Confederation worlds again, the Vorlak commander snarled. The Confederation was easy prey. With humans, it becomes costly. We will find easier targets. As the Vorlak fleet retreated, cheers erupted on every human and Confederation ship. The alliance had proven stronger than anyone expected. 3 days later, John Miller and Lisa Green stood again before the Confederation Council. This time, Captain Powell stood with them, her uniform showing signs of the recent battle. High Ambassador, Zentar spoke first. The Council has reviewed both documentaries about humanity and witnessed your actions against the Vorlak. We were wrong to judge your species based on incomplete information. We all made mistakes, John said. We should have been clearer about human nature from the beginning. Perhaps the misunderstanding was necessary, Qatar suggested. It revealed a truth about our alliance that might have taken years to discover otherwise. Zentar nodded. The Confederation has always valued peace. But we now see that true peace must sometimes be protected with strength that humanity possesses. The Council voted unanimously to approve Earth's membership in the Galactic Confederation, but with a new role, humans would serve as protectors as well as partners. 1 month later, Kevin and Olivia visited the newly reopened Confederation Embassy. Zentar greeted them warmly. "My new documentary has become the most watched program in Confederation history," he told them. "The human truth has changed how every species views Earth. For the better, I hope," Olivia said. "Very much so. Many young Confederation citizens now study human history and culture. Some even train in your self-defense arts." Kevin laughed. "Next, you'll have alien hockey teams." "Actually, yes. A modified version is becoming quite popular." As they walked through the embassy gardens, they passed aliens and humans working together. Some Confederation species still moved carefully around humans, but now it was with respect rather than fear. "What happens next?" Kevin asked. "Joint exploration missions. Begin next month," Zentar said. "Human and Confederation crews together, and defensive patrols along the border systems." Olivia smiled. "So we're the Confederation's protectors now?" "Partners," Zentar corrected. "Each species brings different strengths. Humans bring courage, determination, and when needed, the ability to fight. Others bring knowledge, technology, and perspective." In orbit above Earth, the Orion prepared for its next mission. Captain Powell reviewed the crew manifest, half human, half Confederation species. The ship had been repaired and upgraded with Confederation technology. "Ready for our first joint patrol, Captain?" Alan asked. Samantha looked at the diverse bridge. Crew, humans working alongside beings from across the galaxy. The Vorlak thought they found easy prey in the Confederation, she said. Instead, they helped create the strongest alliance the galaxy has ever seen. As the Orion left orbit, other ships joined formation, human and alien vessels flying together. On view screens across Earth and the Confederation worlds, citizens watched the new fleet depart. The documentary that had almost ended human-alien relations had ultimately revealed a deeper truth. The galaxy needed both the Confederation's peaceful wisdom and humanity's protective strength. Together they would build something greater than either could achieve alone. And across the stars, word spread quickly. Those peaceful humans. They weren't so peaceful after all when their friends were threatened, and the galaxy was safer because of it.